Greetings, juicers. Today we're here in sunny Northcote with my friend Oscar, also known as Opiuo, and he's going to be showing us how to make a wobble wonky bass tone using a software sampler instead of a synth. Oscar, what do you got for us today?
Something along these lines.
Beautiful. So, where do we start?
Okay, well, I've been using the ESX24, so it's the standard Logic sampler. This is Logic 8. So I load it up in a instrument channel, click on Edit.
Yep.
Instrument, New, and then Zone, Load Multiple Samples.
Okay.
Now, I assume everyone's already got some bass packs and everything, so they can just roll with what they have. Now, I've got a couple of tones here. Add that. Done. Now it gives you the option of how wide along the keys of the sampler you want it. Depending on the sound, you can put it wherever you want. So I'm going to give it sort of 25 notes. Move up and down, you can always extend it later, starting with C1. What happens in the sampler is if you slide the bar across, there's an option on playback called one shot. And that basically means if one shot is selected, when you click the sampler, it's going to play all the way to the end of that sound. If you take it off, it plays as long as you hold it down. So, which is ideal for what we want. And if you were wanting to bring this even lower, you just click to the side, drag it down. Then instrument, save as. Put it where you want to save it. And this is what we're going to use to create the wobble. Just the filter cutoff basically in the ESX24. So with the sound as it is standard, you turn it on and come down to here to select your filter cutoff to be controlled via Control 1 by your LFO 1. And so that speed of this LFO will determine the speed of the up and down of your cutoff on your filter. Originally, with it turned off, the sound is straight there, it's a straight sound. I turn it on and I bring this down a little bit. We've got some wobble.
Yeah, excellent. With the LFO, you can either choose for it to be in hertz, which measures the amount of times that it oscillates per second, or locked to the tempo so that it'll go on quarter notes or eighth notes or 16th notes or something like that. How do you know which is the best one to use?
I don't know what one I want to use. I find with the hertz one, normally you've got a bit more free-flowing adjustment, whereas the quantized one feels much more quantized to the beat. I like to keep things as simple as possible because, yeah, the more complex you make it, you kind of spend too long on one sound and you lose your idea. You know, it's more about your idea than the actual, for me anyway. And then go back and, EQ it and make it sound even better. Yeah.
Excellent.
So you kind of just move it up and down to get the feel of where you want to be. And quite often I just play it against the beat and then just sit in here and move that up and down once I've written in some MIDI, figure out where I want it. So I go out of that and jump over into here, get to your pen tool and write some MIDI.
Sure.
Straight to that note's cool, whatever note you want. Lock in a couple of notes. When I play that without a beat, I've got a pre-existing drum beat here that I'm going to throw in and see how it moves around within that beat. That sounds really on the beat, it's got the really kind of quantized to the beat sound. Basically, I started with that sound, and the other channels I've got here are the exact same sampler, and I've just changed parameters, except for the last one. I'll tell you about the last one in a bit. The first one, all I did was copied it over, and I changed the rate, obviously, because you can hear it just opening out. So when it's not so fast, doesn't go down as fast. And I also gave it some resonance in there, so you can hear the difference quite easily. And one last thing I did was a little bit of pitch bend. Without it. And now the resonance difference. Yeah, move in there, and then as you turn it up, gives it a bit more kind of, it's really sort of a dubsteppy sound that a lot of people use the resonance. And then what I've done on the last sound that I've got in here is actually an already oscillating sound. So in the sampler, I don't even have my filter turned on at all. Because what I've done is I've bounced out what I made before. And what I've done that there for, so when I actually want to now pitch bend that sound, it'll actually pitch bend the pitch of the note, but also the oscillation will go up. with it or down, depending on how you have it.
So the sample gets faster when you
sample
pitch it
gets
up.
faster. You know, it has its advantages and disadvantages depending on if you want the pitch to go up and the oscillation not so at the start and then at the end, you know, you can really move around.
Excellent. Well, thanks heaps, man. That's going to change the way I write bass in the future. And sometimes when you do things the same way, you end up in a bit of a rut. And today Oscar's shown us a really easy way to get that complicated glitch hop bass sound without having to tie yourself down in automation or software synthesizers. And we really appreciate it, dude. Thanks heaps.
Pleasure, eh? Cheers.